Hello friends, or should I say Sukwigarvodeon. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Gunko Guns, still smashing keys and kicking Sith and Jedi after 13 years of SWTOR. Still out here putting foot to butt in the name of Mandalore, man. And today, we are going to finish what we started. This is it, part 3 of our Mercenary IO Mastery series. This is the final rotation, the spicy one. The one not for the faint of heart. This one is for those chasing top damage, for those who eat leaderboard spots for breakfast. And maybe, just maybe, for those brave enough to remove their helmets in public. I don't know about that one. Anyway, I'm going to ask you, are you ready? Looking for like-minded lunatics to play SWTOR with? Then why not join the Mando community? We're on the Starforge server, and we've been around since the Star Wars Galaxy days, back when blasters overheated and the cantina was the real endgame. We run everything: PvE, operation, dungeons, weekly world bosses, PvP, duels, bounties, you name it. If it explodes, we're probably already there. So if you want a crew that actually plays and isn't just standing around on fleet quoting Revan, then join Mando. Discord is in the bio. Strapping is going to get loud. All right, let's begin. Thank you guys again for being here. I really appreciate all of you. Again, on my ship, this is the only place, I guess, that actually has decent lighting. I've tried to find somewhere in Alderaan or something where I can do this. Again, SWTOR just has a lot of dark tones. So again, it's hard to kind of, see the character fully. But again, we'll just move on, and this is the best that I could do. That's why it's a little darker, guys. Before we head first into this final rotation part, I would still encourage you guys to go back and watch the basic and then the advanced Merc IO guide video that I posted on this channel. I promise you, I'm not farming views. That's actually logic behind this. The first two parts would teach you the foundations of playing IO Merc, not just clicking buttons, but understanding what you're clicking and what it's doing. For example, your dots, your burst window, the full 10-second rotation, you're going to be able to actually see it and recognize it. And most importantly, the timing of it. That's why, again, I encourage you guys to go back if you haven't. Watch the first part, watch the second part, play it for about a week or two, and then come back here for final part 3. Anyway, let's move on. All right, let's quickly go over the combat style tree right here. As you guys see, nothing has really changed. The most important part, again, being the volatile cinders like before, and we want the slow burn here as well. Now, again, obviously putting tag and bag will help you in the long run, but it's not really necessary. It does help a little bit. Anyway, going over to the gear. We have the same tactical, which is, again, really is the best tactical in the game, even for PvP, as well as your implants. What's really cool about SWTOR and Merc IO in general, pretty much everything stays the same gear-wise when you are, trying different classes. Again, I really like that. Here is the rotation, guys. I know you've been asking for it, so let's talk about it, okay? Really quick, I want you to look at the third part, or the bang, if you will, your execute in this rotation. And as you see, it stayed the same from part 1, part 2, and now finally part 3. It's always going to stay the same. And that is your thermal, max shot, power shot, max shot, right? Your big 4 hits that just do a lot of damage. Here is a rule of thumb that I want you guys to follow, okay? On your power shot in that kind of part, right? This is how you're going to know if you did everything correctly or if you messed up, and you should have been able to pick on this as you were playing it as well. So on the very last power shot that you use here, if you did everything correctly in part 1 and part 2, your max shot is going to light up and you're going to be able to use a free max shot to do a lot more damage. If for some reason you messed up, you didn't use one of the power shots or one of the fillers, you're going to notice that when you use your power shot, your last max shot will not light up. Again, super easy to tell. Again, 10-second rotation, keep an eye on that very last power shot, and then, reevaluate and go from there. But anyway, it stays the same. Let's move on to part 1 and part 2. Now, unlike what we did before, we are going to split up our dots here now. Again, we're going to use the first dot, incendiary missile like before. And remember, the reason for that is serrated is a channel. There's a 1.3 second channel for it. So while it's channeling, you're going to get that 1 second of heat coming back to you because it's longer than 1.3 seconds. Anyway, moving on. So on the very first part, we have the incendiary missile, filler, again, rapid shot for now, and power shot, just like that, okay? So again, part number 1, dot, incendiary missile, filler, power shot. It's important that you use power shot as number 3. We need the time to give the dots to crit so you can get your missile blast as well as your mag shots. It's very important that you wait for that, okay? Part 2, again, serrated shot, your second dot, filler, power shot. Again, super important to use a power shot as your number 3 here. Now, what we're gonna do is, because we are splitting the dots, here's a little interesting fact for you guys. When you are reapplying your dots on the target and you're giving it a little bit more of it to do, you're gonna notice you're gonna get a lot more of the missile blast back, as well as, just more ticks for some reason. It's just the way it is in SWTOR. So this is why we're gonna split it, and we're gonna always reactivate one, do a couple attacks, reactivate the other one. You're gonna notice when you do this, your damage is gonna go up by a couple thousand. So one more time, and then we're gonna show an example, and I'm gonna show you another trick to use here. So again, full rotation is incendiary missile, filler, power shot, serrated shot, second dot by the way, filler, power shot. And then right here, you're going to use or try to use your supercharged gas right before you use your thermal detonator, as well as your adrenal. This is again where you want to pop it right before that thermal detonator, okay? And then thermal detonator, mag shot, power shot, mag shot, and then you just repeat it back and forth. Now, let's show you how that actually works in play so you guys can see it. I'm not going to do anything too much, just going to kind of show you how it actually works. We're not going to use the opener or any of the other stuff. I just want to show you that how the rotation goes back and forth between each other. As you see, I have my supercharged gas, and then I have my missile blast on my V. So I'll actually show you how this works. So here we go. First dot, filler, power shot, and you're going to see it should light up right there. See that? Second dot, we're going to use that missile blast, power shot, and then we're going to use our gas. And then we're going to use our bang, and then we're going to recontinue right away. Again, first dot, filler, power shot. So we already have a crit up. Second dot, missile blast, power shot, and then you move on to the bang. And as you see, it lights up, and you can keep doing this endlessly. This is the most damage that it can do all the time. As you see, your missile blast will always be available. So you're going to be able to use your missile blast sometimes 2 times, sometimes 1 time in each of the rotations. It is a lot of damage. That's how it works, okay? Now, I want to talk about something, as I like to call it, aggressive play. This is where you push the damage even further. And again, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If you push it, you can hit 36, 37K DPS. Easy, right? However, if you mess up and you don't watch your heat, you're gonna really pay here. What I mean by that in aggressive play is we're going to use our vent heat as part of our offensive suit, okay? Our skill set, if you will. So this is how I do it, and notice the heat here, okay? So for every filler, if my missile blast is not back, I'm gonna use power shot and power shot, power shot, power shot. I'm gonna really push the heat, and then I'm gonna use vent heat, okay? The reason for that, again, is you're gonna play aggressively. You're going to use as much heat as possible, then you're gonna vent it back and then go back to your normal rotation, being conservative until your vent heat is back, and then you're gonna push it again and push it again and push it again. Again, the reason why we do that is you're going to pull out a little bit more damage. But again, if you somehow mess up and your damage or your heat gets too high before your vent heat is back, we're in trouble. But again, I'm just going to kind of put in my system, and now we're going to see how this actually works here, okay? So here, let me actually click just to make this a little easier for you guys. Here's that missile blast. And we're going to go crazy now, okay, guys? The second one, we're going to use 2 of them back to back. So as you see, the heat is getting higher and higher. Now you can do this a couple of times and you're going to notice like, oh no, it definitely hurts. See, 50. So at this point, we have to use one of, to do this and kind of bring the heat back. And then you're going to kind of go into your own kind of, normal rotation. There is so much damage that this actually does that it is going to just like spike up, and your tank is going to have to do something because you're going to pull aggro. But again, your heat is going to go to 70. It's going to go all the way to the moon. So be careful. Only play aggressively when you have your event heat up, and then you can vent heat and go back to your standard rotation. Keep an eye on the heat and so forth and so forth. What I want to show you is one more thing here, guys. Just like before, our opening rotation is going to stay the same, and that is, again, serrated shot, dot incendiary missile, mag blast, unload, electronet. We're going to use our adrenal, supercharged gas, blah, blah, blah. Again, just the same old rotation we had before. You're going to use this one time, forget about it, and go back to your rotation. Lastly, I want to show you guys our Discord. You guys are going to welcome to join it, but I actually want to show you what this does. I don't believe in any builds that you can do at least 30k damage. That just means you're not playing it correctly. So right here under our SWTOR community in our guides, if I go to our Merc, which is our fire burn baby, as I like to call it. And again, as you see, when I posted this has been here for a while. This is, again, all the rotations and everything here, as well as what I like to do is show you the full damage and show you the full rankings. As you see here, I was #1 for, when I used to play this seriously. And I was hitting quite a lot of damage with this. Again, this is just in the fabricator. Let's not even worry about that one. Honestly, I clicked the wrong one here. But as you see here, let me actually see if I can pull up to the actual damage with the new parse. Right over here, just over about 30k. And again, this was in December of 2023. Nothing's really changed, guys. You just maybe do a little bit more damage. I think there's new augments, I believe, that you can push just a little bit more. But again, I was at 34, 35k, and then pushing it even higher on the boss fights. And again, as you see here, you can kind of track everything and see how much damage you're actually doing. On this one, it was just ridiculous amount of damage that you can kind of do. It is insane with when you can track and you can actually see what does the most damage. So again, you guys are more than welcome to come. And again, if you go to our SWTOR guide, we have a build for literally everything that we've played and everything that we've done. And we keep track of it. We actually show you the hard data to actually prove that these rotations actually work. And there's a lot of damage that it does. So again, you guys are more than welcome to come join us on our Discord, come join our guild, and let's play SWTOR, man. Let's do some high damage numbers and all that good stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.